2 or 3 days. It was like right before the first time we played ranked.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's like a 2 or 3 day game stretch, and I'm like, Jesus, like if when I get on, if he's still this tilted, I can't.
No, we're good.
Yeah, it's been funny. Well, that's the way I look at it with like playing a team game or like league or whatever, or back in Overwatch, and having bad teammates, or just refusing to accept that I'm the problem. So I'm gonna blame my teammates. It's like 50-50 on which one it usually is, but I don't care. Like, I'll probably be like, dude, this guy is garbage. This is insane. But I'll never tell him. It's like I keep it to me. It's a problem when I project it. But then I'm just ruining somebody's day.
But you're not ruining somebody's day. You're like letting them know, hey, I'm not part of your echo chamber. Like, I'm gonna let you know you need to get better. So, like, I'm not gonna continue to feed into your echo chamber of, yeah, everything is okay, everything is great. I'm gonna tell you.
Nobody's sitting there being like, hey guys, like, hey stinky cloak and dagger. It's all right, man. Nobody's saying it. We just take the L and move on.
Rob is like, it's actually more toxic if I don't tell you that you suck. To be
actually,
honest.
though, actually,
you're in 2026. You're not even in 20. You skipped 20.
You guys see this hairline? That's why I got this hairline, all right? I care too much about my teammates' performances. I care too much.
He's got the Vegeta buff. That's why.
Some would say. Oh, bro, real quick though, there was a game yesterday, first game of the day. I just get I got it. Dip my hairline.
I even kept quiet yesterday when we were playing ranked. I was like, keeping track of this one. I'm like, is it me? There was like a 3-game period where I never got you. Like, ever. I was DPS, and I was just like,
I will say that.
What it is.
I do get tank brain when I'm healing, so that is kind of like my problem on Jeff. I do get kind of tank brain.
Was the last game where I was just like, okay, I gotta get off. We were all fighting, not the entire team. We're like behind the blast or whatever, like capture point. And what's happening? This quarter sort of getting poked. We're all fighting, but I keep getting poked. I think you weren't there. You were coming back to this one, but poke down. I'm like trying to get out and stuff, and just no heals, and I die. I'm like, what? So I look at like the death cam. I'm right here. That is right here, cloak and dagger. Pure DPS, just. I'm like in front of him over here, and it's like a couple. And I'm just like, I gotta get off. Alright, this is it. It's.
Hey, I mean, we climbed though yesterday. That's all we can ask.
We did. But see, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not the one healing. Okay. It's not like I want to be healer. And I know it's not that easy. There's more to it. I was trying. I mean, like, some of the deaths, once they didn't play, it's like, okay, yeah, it's too far. But then some of them, it's like, okay, yeah, it is what it is. I do be missing some bubbles. But, yeah, no, that's been fun, because the last 2 times we played, it was just for the love of the game, It wasn't really, like, recording or anything. It was just trying to rank with the boys.
I will say, we gotta get higher than Diamond, though. Like you said, Diamond ain't anything.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it. No. Especially with the way the climb system works, and how often you get, like, the chrono
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there are some games that you just take L's, but I also understand only a couple of them have been solo queue. So, like, it's definitely different going in knowing I have half the team competent, like, from the start or whatever. So, like, if you're out there solo queuing, I get it. Like, it'd be better than me having a harder time because that's how solo queue be. But, yeah, so that's Rob's New Year's resolutions. Blue, heading 2025. Is there anything you're specifically looking to do or want to experience or
This is
record you're going for?
this is my most normie one that I've ever had. I've really been speedrunning normie.
I love that.
The past couple months.
Again, I was unfamiliar, but some people were coming after your memes, and that was pretty cool.
Everyone is it. Everyone's like, everyone's like, dude, I didn't expect women to pick such a normie one, and I was like, damn, okay, my bad. Didn't know I was a basic queer. My bad.
I mean, to be fair, I think Chill Guy's pretty normie. I mean, I would agree on there.
Okay,
But
but
I think the difference is everyone already knows I'm a normie, so they already see that coming.
yeah, so I guess I'm a normie now. My New Year's resolution is I do need, now that I'm settled in from moving and, you know, got a more steady income as I've begun to pay all the money from moving, I do need to get back to lifting. I need to find a place here. I don't know, it's just hard when you have like a great gym that you go to and like that's the one. And then you have to part ways with that gym, and it's like, man, I have to find a new gym now, and it's just not gonna be the same. But like, you gotta do it.
Like a breakup.
It is. It's sad. It's sad. It's like a sad.
First day of school too. It's like I gotta like
Yeah, exactly.
go around anything.
And I'm a little flabbier because I haven't been in the gym in a couple months with getting settled in. It's like we raw dogging out here.
It's like getting back to the dating scene. It's a big commitment, and like, what if it doesn't work out?
And like,
you gotta
it's
try
not
it.
you, it's me. Like literally.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
I really gotta get back into it.
I would say no rush for the next week or two when it's gonna be the worst.
Oh Christ! I didn't even realize I forgot the New Year's rush appeal.
Although I will say,
I respect it.
I will answer, or we'll get to the question.
No, I'll say like that's me. Like that's me.
Now I just be in the teacher. I saw your name. A year or two ago, it was the first time I was really back in the actual rush, and the first time I'd seen New Year's rush since COVID. And I will say it lasted longer that time. I don't know if it was a difference, but it lasted more than a week or two. It didn't really start to settle down, I remember correctly, until like late February, which was a surprise to me. So shout out to those people, but yeah, my philosophy, well, as always, just been, I've never done New Year's resolutions, because usually, yeah, if there's something I want to change, then I'm just like, well, I just do it now instead of waiting. Plus, I'm terrible at looking ahead. I feel like, knowing how my brain works, if I try to set something up for the year, I'm going to set myself up for failure usually. Because then if I try to like measure, then it's like, did I succeed or not? And then typically, it doesn't go well, which is why like last year I had one, and it was only on my YouTube channel, like a month of Green.
And then you changed it immediately.
Well, and then I got it. I'm like, well, sweet, 2024, done. Yeah, typically, if I do resolutions too, it's not so. Black and white, as in like a pass or fail. Because like, if I had never gotten a green month, I mean, it's maybe there's much I could do about it. It's like, well, suck. I failed 2024. like, I want to be happier, or like, balance life better. And yeah, I did in 2020. I'll be honest, I haven't thought about it since. In fact, I only thought about it when I brought it up.
Hey, live in the moment, baby.
Some might say I'm a victim of the moment a little too much. I fail to look forward pretty much ever. But, yeah, well, my one thing would be work-life balance. Let me tell you. Coming into and still in probably what I'd say like my second or third burn in like a year and a half, your boy's got a lot better. Because I'm finding I have a shorter fuse. The years of my life, every burnout takes, it's like, I fix it. 100% capacity to get the burnout. And then once I burn out, it's like, okay, now I have 80% capacity to get the burnout. And then I get the burnout. It's like, okay, now and it keeps getting shorter and shorter.
Maybe you'll prestige when it gets to zero. Like, maybe it'll be
You gotta replace your battery, man.
Like,
You
prestige.
gotta replace your battery.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like I'm not replacing with a new battery, so the charge is getting lower like every time. Like it's just so. There might be some reasons for that I'm also currently looking into. Looking in for some diagnosis and stuff, and maybe I'll have an update about that later on. But yeah, that's my.
You gotta go visit Dr. House. He'll tell you what you got.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been back on watching House. I had to make a House joke.
I know of it, and I've seen clips, but I've never watched it.
It's actually a pretty decent show, but every show it's like a patient comes in here and he can't see and his legs are paralyzed, and he was just healthy 5 minutes ago. They're like, lupus? And they're like, cardiopatry disease? And they're like, no. And then they're like, let's start him on 2 cc's of that. And then they're like, let's get him on open heart transplant. And then they're about to start the heart transplant. He's like, wait, stop. He's got termites in his stomach. That's how the show is. Like, that's what it's like. And then, like, they do all these tests and do all these surgeries, and then the patient's like, all right, gotta go. I just wonder what the patient goes. Like, I got off. Like,
Bad. It's gotta be bad.
because House is, like, literally giving them everything. All these chlorochliomes, these isms, what, line, like, you name it, they try it.
Never watched it, but will always. In fact, I think I saw a short video. But it was asking for. I think it was a video about like player name, and it was titled something like "How to Write a Smart Character Like the Right Way," which reminds me of like House, the guy who's like just like yeah, he's supposed to be, from what I understand, like a smart dude. Like, yeah, really tapped in. And it does. It is interesting to learn more about how to do it because a poorly written smart character is so obvious and always so cringe. Like it's a fine line between writing a smart character who isn't just like a douchebag or annoying or seems to be a know-it-all, but in reality, it's like that doesn't really come off like that.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons was like writers will spend, it's like they had a mantra for it, but it's essentially like come up with a problem your character needs to solve, like Iron Man or whatever. Spend like a literal week coming up, like the solution, work backwards, and figure out a week, research, write it down, figure out how in the world this would be possible, like ask scientists or whatever, like the most feasible way that this could seem logical, because like even in Iron Man, like some of it's a stretch, but
Yeah.
it's still possible. So it's like work back a week, and once you have all that, write it for like 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes of the movie, but then it shows like how they could come up, problem solve, and figure this all out in such a small amount of time that you actually did the research IRL to make it possible. But it's like part of that is not just being like, oh, here's a problem, and like, well, I know the issue. It's obviously blah blah blah, but actually doing like the work, and I thought that was interesting. But yeah, it reminds me of House because a smart character, quote unquote, that isn't or comes off as not quite as smart can just ruin a show or just kind of be off-putting. For me, at some point, that happened with Big Bang Theory. I watched like the first season or two when it first came out, and I was enjoying it. But at some point, it became a victim of itself.
Dude,
Yeah, like
I hate that show. The punchline is always like, this reminds me of that time I was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I rolled a d40, and the crowd's like, ha 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 ha. And like,
Star Wars, am I right?
guys, Star Trek is poggers. I'm gonna kill
Hey,
myself.
Blue?
Oh my god.
Love that.
I think though, Christian, if you watched House though, you can kind of be like Sydney. Sydney will watch it and then it'll be like their heart will start like palpitating or going really fast, and she's like, I hate this show. Now I have like new things to have like fears of being like sick and stuff. Like
I can't like.
well, because like every episode it's like, okay, we figured out what's wrong with you. And then the patient's like talking, they're like, oh, like what's wrong with me? And they're like, we're putting like 2 files of CC in you right now. And then all of a sudden they're just and they're like, they're seizing, and it's like, all right, well, it's not that, and then they go on to the next, like,
Okay, well, it's like darn. Hey, you live and you learn.
yeah, it's just funny.
I'm just saying, ESPN Bet has seen green, Steven's A-list. Why can't I have a cool sounding featured bet?
Like what?
Molly's Money Lines. They call me the queen of money lines.
Do they call you that?
They should.
Sign up for ESPN Bet to receive your welcome bonus today.
But anyway, I don't know how we got there.
Yeah.
We are.
I made a house show.
Oh, because we were gonna rub it back to Gigi Easy's New Year's resolution, which is leaving the Patreon Q&As in 2024.
Don't worry, guys. It just took us 20 minutes to get to this New Year's resolution.
Exactly. That's pretty good for us. That might be certainly a new 2025 record, but it might be a podcast record. We are going to try to actually finally catch up on all the questions, because I know we're like months behind.
Yeah, we're in October.
Instead of perpetually being behind, we're gonna enter the new year, catch up, and then we'll move forward. Now actually being in the current, instead of like January being like, hey, so what do you guys think of Power World? That just came out a year ago. So
Okay, we'll start with the first question here. MC534 says, would you rather explore the unknown of space or the ocean? For me, ocean, because that's where I believe aliens actually come from.
Are they just saying if we could, or like,
yeah, if you could, yes.
The means of transportation?
Yes.
Like,
let's just say you got exactly what you need.
Okay, space. I freaking love space.
I do love space.
I literally mentioned in my most Marvel Rivals video, where it's just like, it feels bad knowing we were born just in time to see, men go to the moon and into space, but not like early enough that we'll never see humans colonize the space, the stars. Like we're right there, kind of baited. Yeah, we're getting edged, bro. So like, my great grandson, congrats, good for you, dude. Couldn't be me.
And then you're also space, boy, man.
Hot space. I love space.
I think, like, it's crazy. We've explored more of space than we have the ocean. I think that's a little interesting.
The moral of the story: don't fucking.
We have, dude. You throw satellite. We got to fucking Mars, for God's sakes. Technically, you know what I mean? Like,
billions.
That's
upon billions of planets.
Well, that's farther than we have gone in the ocean. Like we've.
Oh, you got so worked up, you muted yourself or something.
Oh, what? I don't hear you.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
okay, we can hear you.
Did my mic go out?
Yeah, you're like, what?
Oh, well, that was.
That was a really good impression of space, because there's no sound in space. So like that was pretty good, man.
Underwater would have been a little more.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I hit my mic and I turned it off for a second.
Very good, Rob.
Question here from Golden Ghost 008 says, would you rather listen to Bife narrate your sex life or keep David narrate your poop smells?
Ooh, that's good.
I keep David.
Yeah.
See, I don't want Bife. See, as much as Bife has a nice voice, like I can't just. All I can imagine is that British dude just like talking like in the corner or some shit. You know what I mean? And it's just like it makes it very uncomfortable. He's like, Oh yes. And then I see bite. I would be able to just, like, imagine bite from the corner and be like, yeah, this is bad. I'd rather see, like, when I poop, I always get something new with Keith David. In a way that is like my choice. So
Yeah. Last thing I need is Ad Astra for Orgasm Guardian.
yeah, exactly.
Bro, like I'm out.
Another 3 minutes lasted, God. Like, I don't need that. Thanks, bye.
You lasted 1 minute. It's a new record. No, I'd rather, yeah, getting some poop narrated. Maybe make poop even more fun, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Slippy Fist says, Dragon Ball question, would you excuse the long wait for Super if all the episodes came out with animation like Daima?
If you asked me like a year or two ago, I'd say yeah. At this point, I don't know. Probably not, because it's been, well, it's almost like 10 years or something, man. Like what? 9, 8? It's been a while. Now, granted, I actually keep forgetting Daima's out. I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I need to catch up, although I've been told I haven't really missed much. But I want to watch this because the animation is cool. But yes. Oh, let me put it this: we've waited so long that if the animation ain't great for Super, like if we get Super back and it's looking like how Super was, I'll be upset. I will, especially because it's like you guys could do it with Daima. You can do it, and I don't want the excuse of like, well, we were rushed. Bro, you've already taken 10 years, whatever. Okay, so like whatever. I'm already gonna be an old man by the time Super Season 2 comes out anyway. You know, I might have the right MMO 2 at that point. Like, whoa, okay, so whatever, just make it good. But at this point, I don't think that would.
Have you either of you guys been watching Daima? Because it's like out, right? Like,
I haven't started yet, and I really need to. But yeah, I haven't started yet.
I watched like the first week came out and the second week came out, and then I forgot.
so it obviously pulled you in.
It wasn't. I mean, I just haven't watched much of anything. Like, I still haven't watched Silo Season 2. I freaking love Silo.
We had a new episode came out yesterday. I didn't watch it.
The only thing I've watched recently, Squid Game Season 2. I finished that. And I think we have 1 or 2 levels left. But Blair and I have been watching Secret Levels, the Amazon Prime show, the animated video game stuff.
Did you hear about the Master Chief thing?
With FanDuel's great playoff payoff, the real highlight is the fans.
Are they taking the celebration a little too far?
Nah, get a no-sweat same-game parlay every day from January 9th to 13th. And new customers get $200 in bonus bets with their first bet of $5 only on FanDuel.
Oh,
Did they do a Halo episode?
No, so the people at Secret Levels pitched to Microsoft a Doom Guy Master Chief episode, like a and Microsoft just said nah. Like Microsoft's like no.
Of course, bro. Dude, that would have been. I would have been pog.
Yeah, right.
I'll say this much, okay? The Warhammer episode. Oh,
It's sick.
oh, I was like, Claire was sitting there, like, why is every video game just a shooting game? It's just a bunch of mindless killing. I'm like, it's great.
It's so dope.
She's like, where's the Stardew Valley episode? And we have seen a couple episodes now that aren't just like there was well, actually, I saw it and we watched it. She goes, "What game is that?" I was like, "I don't know. I've never heard of it." Like Exodus Odyssey. It was a pretty cool episode. It was more like thought provoking. There was the New World one was not quite as straightforward, but I actually enjoyed that one.
There was a New World. That's kind of cool.
Well, funny one. We just watched the Concord episode.
There's a Concord episode.
Well, it was like teased that like right before Concord was coming out too, like something to look forward to. And I feel that too because I watched that and I was like, this would have been a kind of interesting background and like world.
Yeah.
But just all for naught. Like it's weird. That secret level episode is all we have of Concord now. That's it. But yeah, I've been enjoying animation's been fun. Yeah, the Warhammer. Well, I was watching. I don't know what happened. We resumed yesterday. We left off on Warhammer. I was tired. I was like, I don't want to like not pull or pay full attention to the Warhammer episode, so we put it on. And the announcer, or like the storyteller, started out narrating, and it was in like Spanish or something. So I just went with it. So I'm like, oh, it must be like a Spanish thing. Like the announcer, I don't know. Like it's a galactic thing.
Bienvenidos.
Yeah, so he's just going through and it just kind of fit too with like a, sort of. I didn't realize. Then, you'll like it, Rob. It's Titus. It's from Space Marine 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I don't know much about Warhammer, but I know that name. Wait a second. And going through it, and eventually, especially towards the end, the characters say a couple things they hadn't really said. Like again, it's just like it's essentially like a Helldivers from ESG. They're like, get in, boys, and there's just a bunch of killing. And then they say something at the end, and then Titus speaks in Spanish. I'm like, okay. So the episode ends, and I was still like, dude, that was sick. Next episode starts in Spanish, and I'm like, okay, now hold on. This ain't a coincidence, and somehow
Tired of all this woke shit getting in my games.
I didn't change nothing, but somehow my Amazon language changed to Spanish. So I changed to English. So I'm like, well, now this just gives me a better excuse to go back and watch it again. So I'll have to. But yeah, great episode. And then it got me even more hyped. Like, Henry, my boy, come on, deliver with the 40K cinematic universe, my God. Oh, I'm sure it'd be so sick. And it's officially been like, I think just recently, get shut down or something. I'm like, come on, man, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me or my boy. But it's officially moving forward, so we're good. Anyway, if I keep derailing us like this, we'll never get to the question.
MC534 says, with 1 year of training, what Olympic sport do you think you would be best at?
Probably the shot put.
League of Legends, maybe? No.
What?
I mean, I guess soccer. I guess that.
Really?
Yeah, I really went crazy with that
level?
one.
Really?
I mean, yeah, for sure. You think I'm going to be better at an Olympic level than anything else? At least with that, I have some sort of starting ground.
I mean, you really want to pick something that competitive?
Everything! It's the fucking Olympics! What do you mean? Everything is competitive.
Footy, bro?
I'm trying to think the shortest margin of difference. I'm thinking something like the 100-meter dash. I think that's the shortest. Where I know I'm going to get last, but if you look at the times, it's not drastic. It'll be like 0.4 of a second, which is like, oh, that's not bad. And then you look, and if you zoom out, that's pretty bad. But on paper, you're like, yeah, I was only 0.4 slower than the Olympic sprint or whatever, just because there's only so much you can run.
I hate to break it to you. You are not losing by 0.4 of a second in the Olympic sprint 100 meters. Not you would lose by 4 seconds.
Well, I'm just trying to think of time. I don't even know. But that's what I'm saying. It's the shortest time. So even if I lose by 3 seconds.
I guess so. If you don't know,
sprint by 3 seconds. Okay, sure. Now anybody who knows is dude, that's terrible. But on paper, just speak. Yeah, so I ran. I just missed it by 3 seconds. That's oh. In reality, it's halfway down the stretch, I pulled something. I hobbled down and. But hey, I was there. I literally can't because I was maybe ping pong, and I'm no, that goes crazy. I'm trying to think of what's the gun floor, lowest ceiling. Oh, I think. Bro, you kids are freaking blind. Even with my glasses, I don't think I could.
Well, you could do the ones where they have 8 bifocal lenses coming off the thing.
I don't know. Maybe there'd be something that I'm just if I went through every Olympic sport, if they just had them set up, and they're here, just go through and see which one on your first go you're just most adept at. Maybe that would be the way to do it. At this.
Secret, exactly. Mine would be you're the least worst at soccer. So I'll take you there. Yours would be synchronized swimming. You're a great swimmer.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
All you do is the dance move. Do you have a year to train?
Figure out shot. I watched it. Of all the things too, I'm looking at that and I'm this is impressive. The control, the breath control, being able to, and not only that, doing it all in sync with everybody else. I watched it and I'm blown away. I'm that is crazy.
Burt's Bees moisturizer
was yours blue again? You said like javelin or something, or?
Oh yeah. Holy crap. I'm so good, and I get so into your conversations, I forget what we're talking about. But yes, shot put. I feel like eating something really far with enough practice, I feel like there's so much technique that would come into it versus like the deep complexities of like footy, mate. So
Understand. Goo Boy says, "Howdy, fellas. I have one question in honor of spooky time. What is your favorite type of horror? I know Mr. Fruit isn't the biggest fan of horror, but I'm curious
probably would without STDs.
what gets you all to jump the most? Eldritch, body slashers, cryptid, grotesque, everything's fair game. Keep up the good work." I don't know. My favorite type, I like video game horror, so like,
So like GTA.
so I don't know, like whatever Silent Hill 2 is, like, well, I like more so like a thriller type of scare. Like, I don't like the cheap jump scares or like Chainsaw Massacre blood, or like, you know, The Hills Have Eyes and they just show you shock value. I really appreciate something that sets a good tension and like actually makes you feel uneasy. Like, I think that is like the true kind of horror. So whatever you would call that, like tension, I guess. Suspense, sure, good word.
Suspense.
Yeah, a genre.
Edgy.
Yeah. You know, I'm unfamiliar with that. I haven't seen that one in theaters yet.
Gooning.
Well, you just saw a scary movie, right? Or I don't know if it qualifies.
I saw Nosferatu. In fact, yeah, I've seen a couple movies. We'll segue into, I'll just rapid fire. I've seen, I think, since talking about any on the podcast, I've seen Sonic 3 and I've seen Nosferatu. Start with Nosferatu. It's supposed to be a horror movie. To be honest, didn't know much, but I know it was getting well reviewed. And people were pleasantly surprised. They even saw it like best horror of 2024 and a bunch of lists and stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, yeah, it's like, sheesh, I'll give it a shot. Not what I expected, and wow, would that be the closest to an edging horror movie maybe of it. That was so horny.
I heard there's like straight flaccid wiener is like at one point. Yeah.
Little
It's like George R.R. Martin type shit.
Skarsgård, penis. Well, apparently it was a prosthetic, and one of the actors, I can't remember his name, took it and framed
Show
it.
your meat.
No balls. And yeah, it was quite horny. And at times it felt like this was like this is a kink. Like, so this is a monster smut movie. It has to be. Not what I expected. Cinematography was great. And then I think I learned he was also the one that directed The Lighthouse, which makes sense. A lot of the composition, color grading, framing the shots. I mean, that's what I noticed too, especially. I mean, this is cool. The story itself, though, and the premise was very okay, and I felt like I always knew where we were going, and I never was surprised. I put it at like, for me, maybe a 2. Can pass.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Might not go see it now.
You could watch it. I think, I just wouldn't rush to go see it.
Wait till it comes to Prime Video or something.
Yeah, maybe the nuance was lost on me, or maybe I think I might have been a victim of the hype. Whereas like, oh wow, and then also, like Claire was telling me, people were saying like it's bloodier than Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like up on the thing. So I was like, oh, is this like a slasher kind of movie? Spoilers? No. I don't know why they thought it was like no. So that's the best way to say it. Can't. Sonic 3 is a 4. Should watch. If not alone, for apparently the scene a lot of people don't like, but it's what made the movie for me. Jim Carrey's dance scene. That put it over the thing for, and Claire enjoyed that scene so much just because she was watching me laugh so much at the scene. It was hilarious to me, is the juxtaposition, and it's just like they would do this. Jim Carrey would just have like a 3-minute dance number in the middle of Sonic 3. He carried the movie, loved it. Wicked. You know, I'm not a musical kind of guy. Nope. Don't even know what Wicked's about. I know it's something with Wizard of Oz, but like I've never seen the play. None of that. I put it a 4. Should watch. I really enjoyed it. It was good. The story was good. A lot of the music numbers were enjoyable. Now, the movie started, and I said, this might not be for me. Because I was like, I should have gone to one with captions. Because that's also my problem with musicals. Like, in Wicked, it opens up with, like, the big, like, audience chorus kind of sing-alongs, where it's just, like, 100 people sing. And, bro, I can't tell you what they're saying. So, like, if they're trying to, like, exposition...
They hate the witch is what they're trying.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah. And I'm just like, what am I missing? Hopefully this is not important. And that's when, as the movie went on, thankfully, even if you don't even understand most of the songs, but that was the least one. The other ones are a lot easier to understand. Most of the exposition and storytelling and stuff it's not Les Miserables. It's not singing all the time. I think the performances were really good, and I enjoyed Wicked. So, anyway, my favorite genre of horror movie, though, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 with Rob. I do like me a suspense, but every now and then I don't mind like a slasher, something where it's just like,
just kind of stupid horror.
Yeah, like Cabin in the Woods. Is that?
No, I think you're thinking. Yeah.
Is that, yeah, something like that. Like every now and then, or there was one a couple years ago. They went to like a mansion for like a dinner party or something. I can't remember what it was. And they had like animal masks or something.
There was
people just start dying. Sometimes like, sure.
There was a horror that Sydney and I just watched. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a horror, but it was The Watchers. I don't know if you guys seen the trailers for that.
I started that for about 10 minutes and then I fell asleep.
Stop.
Really?
Stop. Oh, like 30 minutes in, I'm like, this is like piss. Like what? Like this is like, so you're like, well, should give it a chance? Like, will you give it a chance? I'm like, all right, like. And then we get like an hour and she's like, all right, this is ass. But I'm like, oh, we're too far. Like we're too far. Like at this point, I have to finish this. Like I have to know how this ends.
That's unfortunate. Because for me, the reason I started it was the same reason I watch like some other movies that I normally wouldn't, like The Cube. I'm just like, this is a weird premise. Like,
yeah,
what's going on here? I wonder what story they cooked up, but it sounds like they didn't really.
Yeah, the story is
much.
Like that, like it's like where the idea is cool.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Blue, what's your favorite kind of scary movie?
I definitely like psychological thrillers. Psychological horror is definitely my favorite. Babadook is still one of my favorite movies in the horror genre.
I haven't seen that one, but I know that was worth it.
And then I remember I liked Smile. I haven't seen Smile 2, but I do want to see it. But I love that stuff. That's my favorite. That stuff where like the scary thing isn't even like some big bad or like some. It's nothing like mythological or anything. It's like it's your brain. What's the scariest part about this movie? You.
The one that sits with that kind of movie.
Yep, spooky. Ooh.
MC534 says, what are some games, your favorite non-content games? Games you play and love but won't make content on?
Final Fantasy 14 Online, the critically acclaimed MMO that has just come out with a new expansion called Dawn Trail.
It's not new. Dawn Trail is not new. Like, it's been out for a while now.
It's been a couple months, okay. I'm getting old.
We were watching that Concord episode. It was like, is that one you just did a sponsor video on? Like, just 7 months ago. He goes, oh, really? I thought that was like last week. I'm like, oh, no. Time.
There's not really, like, games that I, like, won't stream or, like, play. Really, for me. I guess maybe The Bazaar, but I haven't played The Bazaar in a while. Yeah, I just don't want to stream Bazaar because I think people will roast me.
I really don't don't think they would. And worst case, I think they'll help you. But the good news is, even when I'm streaming it too, most of my audience is still at the. I don't know what I'm watching, but I'm glad you're having fun.
This
so,
is
like,
cool.
I'm just here for the ride. I think for me, there's very few of those games because usually if I like a game that much, I want to make content on it. So I'm like, oh, I want to share this with other people. So, with the exception knowing I have made some content on it, but content versus amount of time I spent playing, especially recently, I'd still say League of Legends. I have been playing that more, especially since London, you guys have been playing, and I haven't had quite as much time, but recently I've been trying to play some more. Still enjoy playing that game. I still love League of Legends. Come at me. And if not that, I haven't grinded it in a while, in like over a year. But there was on and off a year or two where I would grind and grind that. It'd be TF2, or not TF2, TFT, Teamfight Tactics. I think I made like one video when it first came out. But what do I say from that? I don't think I ever streamed or recorded anything, but there were points where I was grinding that. So.
Yeah. One Lax says, any near-death experiences you're fine with sharing? I live a very sheltered life. I mean, other than like, my acid incident, which I guess like maybe like if you, I don't know, like, I guess that's the closest near-death experience I've ever had. But like, never been in like, I guess I've been in a car wreck, but like I felt like it wasn't like life-threatening. It was more like a typical slow ice on the freeway type of thing. It wasn't really like life-threatening, thank God. But thankfully nothing of the sorts for me.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I mean, it might be telling that I'm having to think so hard. I feel like if there was, it's one of those that you'll never know. Like, you were that close, but it didn't happen, so things just lined up, and so you barely missed it. Otherwise, let me tell you, when I was in Mexico, on that toilet, I met Jesus a couple times there, all right? So, aside from some toilet visits, I've come close there, I can tell you that. But otherwise, that's the thing, too, is growing up, all my brothers, frequent hospital visits, the amount of bones they broke, I'm with them every single time. And somehow, never broke a bone. I almost never went to the hospital. Somehow I always, went unscathed. So maybe that's my penance, and that's why my body's falling apart now. They're like, well, we didn't get to break it down when you were younger. So, yeah, otherwise, I don't know.
Well, I guess I did, I don't know how near-death experience, I did pass out while watching Yellowstone one time. It's the only time I've ever passed out in my life.
It's not that bad, bro.
Well, I mean, like, there was just, like, a scene where, like, he has, like, a hemorrhage, and, like, some horse veterinarian's like, we gotta get this hemorrhage out of you, and, like, cuts into him. I don't know what about that, like, Sydney said, like, I just turned pale white, and then, like, my hands were, like, Sydney, can you give me some water? And she was like, yeah, I get it. Like, that's, okay, sure. And she said she turned around after getting the water. She said, I was on the couch, my hands were like this, and I was pale white, and I was just like this, and I wasn't responding. And then she goes like, Rob, and then I got up, and I was like, what, like, what? So, I don't know,
That's weird.
oh, it was super weird.
I think the only time I've passed out was, I want to say I was like 12 or 13 at the doctor's, and they needed to draw some blood. So I watched them draw my blood. That was fun. I gotta go real quick. I gotta go to the bathroom. And that's when I learned needles are fine as long as I do not watch them do something with me. Like the pain or whatever, I'll take just like You're
Yeah,
like, are you
I'm with
okay?
you.
I'm like, yeah, I just can't.
Just
watch.
can't see
Like,
it,
You
yeah.
do what you got to do, yeah. But like, if I watch, it's a joke.
What about you, Blue?
What was the question?
Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Let me think. I think the most recent one that I can remember is when I had.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot to go through.
Yeah.
I was peeing blood a couple years ago.
That's one of my biggest fears, bro.
Like, it wasn't like
if I see blood coming out,
Is it
bro,
like
I've always
thick?
been like just.
Like, how does that?
it wasn't.
Like?
It wasn't like peeing blood. It was more like Okay, so we're gonna get a little medical here, boys. I'm so sorry if you don't want to hear
That's
about
alright. I've
this.
been watching House lately. I can diagnose you.
It was more so that like it was more so. So I have psoriasis, right? So that means my skin is often inflamed.
And you have lupus.
What? It's in every
Clear as lupus.
in every which way and area, my skin could be randomly inflamed, and so that includes my urethra hole. So sometimes when you pee, well, it's not like especially around the penile area. It's never bad. It's more so just like some redness, and that's about it. But it is still a little more sensitive. So sometimes when you pee really hard, you sometimes have a little bit of a skin pierce, very small. So like when I'm
You're not just like pissing blood. Like it's not just like
it's more so like very slightly tinted, and also like when you dab the tip, you're like, oh, that's not cool.
Hell no.
Yeah, bro.
So, but it's like very light. I'm talking like mostly water, but like just that little like, oh, that's a little blood.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor and I just went to urgent care because I was like, okay, because I was freaked out, and so I went to urgent care. And unfortunately, urgent care doctor is not famously great at diagnosing more complex situations like that. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you've got a UTI," and I was like, "How would I have a UTI? I haven't been sexually active recently." And he was like, "I guess you got a UTI." So he gave me these. I guess it was. I don't even remember what it was. It's something to make it easier to pee, like without pain. And it turns your piss like super orange or something. I forgot what it's called. It's like some medication that is, it's specifically meant for UTIs to.
Like Doroclaxifil.
Some shit like that. Anyways, they were like, yeah, here's the warnings, blah 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 blah. Like if you have a bad reaction, like you should go to the hospital immediately. Well, I had a really bad reaction to it. I took it and like I started sweating. I could like see the veins in my hands and my blood and my.
His O2 levels are dropping.
Yeah, I could see like the veins in my hands. I could I was dizzy. I was nauseous, and I felt like I was gonna die.
Little Sister Crazy Crust is stuffed with cheese and has a delicious buttery garlic flavored crust. And it's $9.49, making it the lowest price in stuffed crust. And I'm out of time. There was more time.
And at some point, I don't even remember it because I was like, I even like called like the hotline. I was like, hey, like I'm pretty sure I'm having a reaction to this, and they're like, oh, that's not good. Well, you should if you're still having a reaction to it in like an hour or so, then you should go to the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyways, I ended up falling asleep at some point, somehow, because like I guess I'm just so stressed out, and like stressed out in a way that like my body is like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm going through it, man. And I ended up waking up and I was like, holy shit. I feel like I lucked out because I feel like I could have died in my sleep with how bad of a reaction I was having to it. So anyways, I stopped taking that stuff and I never went back to that urgent care. And I ended up going to like an actual doctor like a week later, and he was like, oh yeah, it's just a psoriasis. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it's not a problem. Like if the blood is coming from the tip or like your urethra, then it just means that something is inflamed, and it's probably psoriasis, and it's pretty common for if you have really bad psoriasis or like really bad flare-ups to have like a little a little bit of a cut for him. He was like, yeah, just be careful, it's too hard. And I was like, man, really? And he was like, yeah, I would be worried if you were actually peeing blood like from your kidney
balls.
type beat, or like if
So it's rough.
and he was like, but if the blood is super fresh coming out, then that means it's coming straight from, and there's so little, it means it's coming from the, you know. Anyways, that's enough about my penis, guys.
No,
No, you almost died. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
no, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, still, I mean,
Kyra says, what's your go-to coffee, whether that's ordering or homemade? If you don't drink coffee, then what's your go-to form of caffeine?
I like the rocks drinks. They are really tasty, and also if you pick it up, they taste really good. They're nice and fruity. They have some good flavor to them. I really like having a good flavor in my energy drink. As far as coffee goes, there is a Dunkin' next to my work, and if I need something, I'll just go to Dunkin' and get like some random adult milkshake. Because man, the Dunkin' shit is crazy. I know I'm getting old, and I'm like, yeah, can I get like half sugar on that? Because the first time I ordered it, it was like I don't know, it was some like caramel cold foam thing, and I was like, I knew I was getting a caramel cold foam. It's like, okay, this thing is very clearly an adult milkshake. Like, but then I drink it, I was like, oh my god, this genuinely just tastes like a fucking milkshake. So now I just get half sugar at Dunkin'.
I've seen someone show with like some of the Dunkin' things, like of this one drink, that take another same cup and be like, this is how much sugar's in it, and it's like literally half of sugar. So like the amount of sugar Dunkin' puts in all other stuff is insane. Also, probably why it's so good. Freaking,
It's true.
like I've never had it though, but I know people swear by it.
I'm gonna be honest, like as a Colombian, I don't drink coffee, and like I'll be honest, I don't drink caffeine in the
As
morning.
a Colombian,
Like, I just-
a Colombia, so you're not a real Colombian, bro?
No, I'm not. Look how white I am. No, I've never enjoyed the taste of coffee, and for me, I need to like enjoy it, and then like, so I don't want to also like drink a soda in the morning. So I normally just go raw dog, and I just don't drink anything. And if I do drink something, it's normally probably just water. But like, if I do want a source of caffeine, I guess I just drink a soda. But I'm not drinking a soda going like, I need this as a pick-me-up. I just drink it because it's like, oh, this tastes good. Like, it's not really like a, don't talk to me till I have my soda, you know?
My issue with soda is I will like crash. Like I have to have like more caffeine than sugar, you know, in the mix. Mr. Fruit?
Don't drink coffee.
Why not?
Green tea every now and then.
You sound like,
Green tea is great.
Nothing about coffee, I like.
yeah.
Well, I guess try.
Does Claire like
And,
coffee?
no, neither of us do. I've tried my best, but at the point I would enjoy coffee is there's none in it.
Yeah.
'Cause even like,
You're drinking cream with coffee. Like,
well, but even then, like, you know, I could get like a,
With FanDuel, all new customers get $200 in bonus bets with their first bet of $5. Let's run the highlights. First off, Jenny in North Carolina. Oh, hit the over by half a point. All right, this is a classic down to the wire for Brendan and Philly. You got the overs on points. Can he get the yards? Oh, he got it. Wow. Face paint on a what?
like, there's some place in Denver or something, like there's like these places called like Ziggy's or something, I think, and they have these like raspberry blenders or something they call them, and they're ice with like raspberry flavoring and mixed and bunched, and it kind of tastes like a smoothie or a milkshake or something. But then they add coffee in it, and it's disgusting, even with everything else I'm asking. So I get it without coffee. But
They're
like, cause the moment I'm like, I get it without coffee, and take it, like this has coffee. Like I sniff it out, bro. Like I'm sensitive to it. So yeah, I don't do coffee. If I do caffeine, it's advanced GG.
Wow.
but then also it's not even like a full scoop, and this is like 3/4 of a scoop, and I usually don't drink the whole thing, and I sip on it for like 3-4 hours. If I down this in like 10 to 30 minutes, I'll have the shakes. I'll be ready to throw up. I can't do it. But I'm just so chronically tired that this is like something. I've also done it without caffeine. I'm not addicted to where like if I skip a day, I don't get headaches or anything, because this is what all the caffeine I get, but it helps me more than anything else. So,
yeah, it'd be funny. It'll be like, I have the shakes so bad today. I'm like, okay, what did you eat? And she's like, well, I had 2 cups of coffee and nothing else. I just don't understand. Johnny Appleseed says, it's the 4th of July weekend and you are the grill master for the extended family cookout. What are you making, and could you handle the pressure of feeding everybody?
The family's going hungry.
Here's my problem with like,
you guys like well done or something.
Like, yeah, like that's my problem. Like with the meat station, like I'm too scared to undercook something, so chances are I'm going to overcook it, and like it's still like edible, but you know, like it's definitely like not as tasty as it should be. So no, everybody's gonna hate me and backseat and be like, you know, you should get those steaks off the thing. I'm like, a little bit longer. They've been on there for 20 minutes. Like, just relax. And he's like, 20 minutes, so 10 minutes each side. I'm like, 20 minutes each side. Like,
what about you, Blue?
I'm pretty good at burgers, so I'll just make a nice little burger. Make some nice burgers, you know, toast some buns. You know, real basic, real simple, and it works. And no one's gonna complain about some nice hamburgers.
Yeah, no, I haven't done much. The few times I do, they usually don't go well done. But I'm never like rare, too paranoid. I think I do like okay. But also, but that's when I'm doing my one. If it's at a grill party and I'm managing a whole bunch, I will lose track. They will grill party.
I just imagine everyone's grilling like at a grill party. Like,
yeah, everyone's got their little stations. Hey,
yeah,
it's going great, dude.
Yeah, grill party.
Whatever, man. Grill out. And plus growing up, didn't have the best model. Like my mom's pork chops are infamous in my family. That if you wanted to break your teeth on something, get some of my mom's pork
get
chops.
doorstop.
Well, she was always like, I'm never gonna give you guys. I'm too paranoid, underserved. But she took that to the limit.
Yeah.
And everything you ate was dry, solid, like lifeless.
But guess what? If you're not eating it, you're not eating tonight. So you're eating it. Like,
but I didn't eat that night.
Karaxi says, rank the numbers of 0 through 5 through best through worst. Also, Mr. Fruit, I just finished my first playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, and I had your playthrough going on at the same time. How was it this game of the year?
So I'm saying, dude, cinema. I forget what won that year.
I think it was Elden Ring, no?
I don't think they came out the... Oh, I don't know. How would I know, man?
What year did that come out? 2021? It Takes Two.
Oh, 2020. It was like right after the pandemic. I mean, I get it. I mean, It Takes Two was good and it was unique. But yeah, I love Ghost. That was my game for sure. Ghost. And now we get Ghost of Yotei. This is like we're talking about.
Kidding, it wasn't It Takes Two. I think it was Last of Us Part 2. If it came out in 2020.
No. Like, then Ghost got wrong.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima lost Last of Us Part 2.
That's, unfortunate.
What are we going to?
Okay, I'm gonna rank 0 through 5.
Is everything really gonna be okay? What do you mean?
Because it really doesn't seem like everything is gonna be okay.
What are we talking about?
You told me everything was gonna be okay at the end of season 3. I don't think we can come away with that, with everything being okay. Someone must not be okay. Someone will not be
So I'm
okay.
assuming you just saw everything that
Truly, every single person, pretty much,
everybody got hit.
got
Whole family got hit.
physically, emotionally, something.
The worst was John for sure.
Well, yeah.
Number one.
I would say so. Casey's not looking good.
Casey got shot.
Jimmy just might be dead. I mean, he just might have broke his neck. Like, I don't fucking know. It doesn't look good.
Number 5 and number 5.
And now they're doing this throwback. I'm like, no, bring me back to real time. I need to know what's happening.
What?
I'm a mother. I don't have time to go through this stupid throwback shit. Okay? Get me back in the action. Who is alive? Oh, but you don't think my daughter were anyway. If you want to go take a shower,
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I should give him some snackies.
You can just bring me up. Put on. Miss Rachel while you.
You might want to be moving around though. He's had a big young nappy.
And then 4, and then 1 is the worst.
But I can't. Do you want me to warm up a little lunch for him real quick? He can eat while you guys.
4, 2,
I'll make sure you if you want
0,
to.
5, 3, 1.
Bottle.
Damn, you guys hate one, huh? Where it all starts.
Yeah, like you did a young napping, didn't you?
And I also like 0.
Morph Jorp says, now that you've seen Worlds, Rob, would you rather be a top player in League or CS?
It's right.
That's a good question.
No.
Like, if you say top player, it obviously means like,
I know you.
Nice.
I know you.
I don't know, man. Like, both, each have their own, like, see, am I, like, faker good or am I NA good? You know what I mean? Am I NA good in CS or am I EU good? Like, that's where I'm. But if I'm NA's last hope, I think I'd rather be NA's last hope in League because I think NA already has their major in Counter-Strike.
Way low.
Sure.
Expectations are already like, especially in League, NA is very much that we're happy to be here. Yeah. Like, hey, at this point now, 7, 8 years ago, now there's still some cope left, but we've abandoned it. I mean, you know, gone.
Just make like top 8. Like if you can make top 8, you have exceeded expectations. Like you have exceeded expectations.
Yeah. Probably managed to get a bracket with no Chinese or Korean teams. Go, dude.
Yeah. I don't want to be an LCK player where it's like you must win Worlds, you must win the Golden Road, or you are fired.
All right. So it splits. You got 4th of Worlds. For shame, we disown you, and you're fired.
Have fun playing in China. Like,
put the burgers in the fry.
So like it's tough because like it would be more fun. Like there's way less like pressure in Counter-Strike a little bit because NA's already won a major kinda. And then like League, it's like there is like almost no pressure, but then you kind of put the pressure on yourself to win Worlds. So I'd probably pick League. Popkurt. Oh my god. This is how you know this is old. Popkurt says, have you guys heard of a new game called Bazaar and anyone I'm playing it?
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Oh god.
Well, just for backstory, I'd actually heard about, I mean, followed the Bazaar for a while.
And a while is like 8 years. Like, yeah, maybe like 8 or 7 years.
And I mean, I was watching like their developer update videos years ago, where they'd update every now and then. Hey, this is how it's going. Like, this is what the current systems are. Here's some art. And I was always like, yeah, like interested to see where this goes. So I'd already been following it for a while, and then yeah, I planned to play. Didn't think I didn't have lagging as much as I did, which is nice.
Senpai noticed. That was really cool. That was really cool.
Senpai noticed me. Red had messaged me. They appreciate the video. They want some feedback. And I'm like, ooh.
That's sick. The noodle. Mark Rasay says, have any of you guys ever been interested in playing the Warhammer 40k tabletop? I've been getting really interested in minis and how to build / use armies. I think so. I don't have anybody really to play with or have a giant army to spend $1,000.
Yeah, I'm spooked. I think if Rob was close,
Yeah, like,
then maybe Rob could
I'd
find it.
try. Well, we use your thing, and you could use like the table that like sinks it down, so like you'd always have the whole thing.
But otherwise, I don't have any friends locally that would be interested, and I'm not quite the guy to be like, I'm just gonna go to a place and play with a bunch of strangers.
Hi,
I
baby.
ain't quite there. So it'd be different. Like,
What are you doing, little man?
and then the two of us went to like go play with like maybe one or two other people. But that's enough of a barrier for you, and I'll just be like, yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Blue? Mic working?
Okay. Yeah.
Would you play 40k Warhammer tabletop?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Space says, what did you guys do with your first big check from YouTube/streaming?
You guys got a big check from YouTube?
I get moderately, like, you know, to pay bills these days.
Tried to maximize the 401k.
I think the first check I bought Cement 4s back in like 2014 or 2015, whatever that was. Yeah, Cement 4s. That was like, I got them for retail too.
It felt like a huge moment.
Announcing Virginia Lottery Rewards. The brand new rewards club that's free, simple, and oh so easy to join. Just sign into your existing Virginia Lottery account or create one, and you're in.
I don't even know what I spent. I remember I don't think it was anything special, honestly. I remember like the first thing I spent on like at my job, but I don't really. I can't say I remember like what I spent on my first big paycheck, because honestly, y'all, you don't really get major big paychecks from Twitch or YouTube unless you're like crazy month.
Yeah.
But like even then, like crazy month, I'm like, oh, that's good. Hey, that's a lot of money going to bills. Oh yeah, y'all.
Golden Ghost says, have any of you ever listened to the epic saga by Jorge Rivera Hans? It is the story of the Odyssey through song.
No, I'm not a fucking nerd.
Oh, actually,
No,
I
I
did
have no idea
listen
what that
to
is.
Snow 1 or 2 the other day.
Oh.
Unknowingly, it's just because I was driving somewhere with my parents or something. They're just far enough away that I was like, I don't know what to put on, so I just went to the YouTube trending music. Yeah, but I'll just put something on. And it was like Spanish songs. I'm like, okay, skip. It was Spanish songs, skip. Another language I didn't understand, skip. And then it turned out to be, I think, that guy just doing like an epic ballad about the Odyssey. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I listened to 2 or 3 until I got to my parents' house, but yeah.
One Lax says, favorite Dragon Ball transformation?
Man,
Super Saiyan 3.
I do like the classic Super Saiyan, but I am pretty partial to Super Saiyan Blue.
It's pretty good. I think. I mean, they're all so cool, but I think the one I'm most fond of, just because of like nostalgia and probably because it's one of my favorite arcs, Super Saiyan 2. I know of all the transformations too, it's like the least really exciting. It's like, oh, and then I have like electric. Right, really, like you can't. There's not much of a difference between 1 and 2. But I think just it'll.
What do you find?
In my mind, I think of Super Saiyan 2. I think of the Gohan Cell Saga, and or the Gohan Cell Arc.
Johnny Appleseed says, your prayers to RNGs is heaven. You get to change the past, and you can make one thing that you did yesterday go perfectly. What would you want? I guess win that last game, so me and Christopher hit diamond. It's literally like the only
You're
thing
so dramatic, Javi.
Are you saying that it could have gone perfect?
Yeah, so like something yesterday you did that gets to go perfectly.
Dude, this is like existential.
Fine. Meanwhile, like when the last Marvel Rivals game we played yesterday.
Okay, hold on. Okay, yes.